Are you ready to take your organization to the next level and become a game changer in your industry? Then look no further. Welcome to Yeukai Business Show, where we bring you the world's top business thought leaders to share their secrets to success, from leadership development to finance, marketing, self-development, human resource management, and much, much more. Our guests reveal the strategies, tactics, and mindsets that have made them so successful. So let's dive in and learn from the best in the business. Hello and welcome back to another great episode. With me is a new friend, Ben Gold, joining us all the way from US, just around the Dallas area. And today I'm excited about today's podcast because we're talking about AI. You know, a lot of people are asking questions. What is AI? What is happening in the world today? What is new? How can you take advantage of the new technology that is coming up? And especially if you are an employee, you want a cutting edge way of finding a job in a way that some people are ignoring and some people are taking advantage of this. You're in the right place and you're about to discover how to do it very well. And if you're a business owner, you're looking to learn how you can apply the concepts of this new technology in your business. You too are going to find our conversation here very, very useful. Ben, thank you so much for joining us on the show.
Thank you so much, Yeukai.
Incredible. Now, Ben, his main topic is helping people, understand the impact of AI on job seekers, and also to talk about generative AI. In fact, Ben has created a company that is solely focusing on helping people that are looking for jobs, people who surely can take advantage of this technology. Ben, I know that I've not done a lot of justice in introducing you. Would you do a brief introduction as to how you ended up doing what you're doing today?
Yes. So my background is I have 20 years of experience in technology. And the last 5 years, I was working for a company that had a very interesting AI product. We were able to analyze tens of thousands of conversations and come up with insights very quickly for our clients. My last role was a sales engineer, which is something between sales and being technical and really working with all members of the organization, from marketing, product, data science. And at the beginning of this year, I was let go. And so I took this passion that I had for AI and I started using this new tool, ChatGPT, which is a different flavor. It's generative AI, and we can talk about that in a minute. And I spent roughly the first 3 months using it to be able to deliver hyper-personalized cover letters and prep myself for interviews and other elements. And what I discovered, two things. One was that I found that the startup companies were the ones that were doing most of the innovation in AI. And that as a job seeker, I found this to be very unwieldy to have an Excel spreadsheet, Microsoft Word document, emails, and then I have all these conversations on ChatGPT. And it was very difficult to keep track of everything happening. And I thought to myself, why not create a tool, an AI-powered career coaching portal that's like a CRM that organizes the job search, but takes advantage of generative AI to give the personalized coaching. So I built out my team, and we have put together a prototype of our product, and we're actively speaking with different investors to get funding so we can take that to the next level. So that's jobco.ai. That's the project I'm working on over there.
Yeah.
Then what happened was I made the decision I wanted to get closer to the job seeker community, and I started attending some job seeker functions, ended up doing several webinars and one-on-one coaching because I wanted to understand who the end user is, what are the specific challenges that job seekers face. And what ended up happening was, and it was a little bit of my surprise, is that I was a little bit shocked that less than 50% of the people I spoke with even had created an account on ChatGPT or they were saying this is a cool thing that my niece uses or my kids use, but I don't understand how this can help me. And so I went ahead and wrote a book called Find Your Next Job with ChatGPT to give really the blueprint of how somebody who's never used AI before, how they could take that and be able to apply it for their job search.
Incredible. Well, I'm glad you are here today and would love to explore the whole process of how to start using ChatGPT from the get-going up to a point where you land the right type of a job. So imagine you're talking to somebody who has no understanding. So let's take them right through the steps. What will be the first step?
The first step would be to put this on pause. And if you have not set up an account, go into Google, type in ChatGPT. You will see this ability to either use your Google, Microsoft, or Apple account and set up an account. That's really important to have your own account and to begin to say that you don't need a whole lot of years of experience. You just need some curiosity, the willingness to learn, and to be able to understand. So that would be step one. Second thing is maybe it helps me to give you a quick, I want to give a quick overview. And I think this would help people who are seeing all this stuff about AI and they're asking, how does that work? So if we step back, AI has been around for decades. Okay, so when you think of Google search, you're thinking of Amazon when you are being suggested a product, or Netflix when you're suggested a movie. That's all the way that large corporations have leveraged AI. It's in the background, you don't see it, but it's designed to give you this personalized experience where you buy more stuff.
Right.
Now, ChatGPT, which came out a little bit less than a year ago, is a different kind of AI. We call it generative AI. And I like to think of it as a democratization. It opened up the capabilities so the masses could understand it. And when I say that this will transform our society as much as the internet did, I'm not joking. And I know it sounds sometimes like a used car salesman, but it really is. And it's important for people to understand that. So what generative AI is they use what is called a large language model. So you'll see the word LLM. What that is just a massive amount of data that's used to train this AI technology. For example, OpenAI, where they own ChatGPT, their paid version has over 1 trillion data points. And so what that allows is it predicts the next word that would make sense. So if I, for example, type into ChatGPT and I say, yesterday, love was, it's going to say, such an easy game to play. And it would know that I'm talking about the Beatles song. Because just from, it's able to understand this element. So when we talk about best practices and how to interact, how does this impact a business owner? How does this impact a job seeker? Let's talk about, there's really two, I try not to get too much in the tech elements because you can geek out on it, but think of it as an input and output. And there's two elements of an input. One is called a prompt and the other is called contextual data. And if you understand this concept, this is in itself the mastery of generative AI, is understanding that a prompt is a command. A command could be something like, tell me where a hotel is, or I want to go to Costa Rica, give me a 5-day recommendation. You're asking it to do something, while contextual data is information that it doesn't know. So for example, with 1 trillion data points, it still doesn't know who Ben Gold is.
Right.
Okay. It doesn't know what my aspirations are. So for example, in an example of a job seeker, I can say, here is my resume and a job description. That's the contextual data. Now, knowing what a prompt would be something like, you are a renowned career counselor, giving it a role, and say, based on my resume and cover letter, give me a percentage compatibility for me for the job, and then give me a 2-paragraph description of why, and then write me a concise cover letter.
Wow.
Now, when you give it very specific information, it will output. It will give you this output that is impressive. And I've done it before where I'll be live on a webinar, and when I do it in front of the students, there's gasps in the crowd because it's like taking the red pill in the movie Matrix. And all of a sudden, because I can write a cover letter in 7 minutes instead of 45. So what this is doing is think of this globally, that where this becomes an issue for business owners, companies, employees is we now have a technology that is smart, that can improve your productivity by 2, 3, 10x, depending upon what you're doing. And it's a very disruptive one. And I think it's important for specifically job seekers to understand their profession and to say, is my profession in danger? So, for example, if you're a graphic designer, a content creator, yeah, you should be learning this quickly because there are going to be a number of positions that are going to disappear and there's going to be some created. However, the question is, I'm thinking the net will probably be negative.
Well, it can be a scary position, to think that my job is going to be to be gone in less than 2 years if you're a content creator.
And sometimes what's happened is if you take the time to start the process, there's time to adjust. There is time to understand this and say, how can I see the wave coming down the road? What can I do to prepare? Do I need to upskill myself? Do I need to change or alter the value proposition of what I do? Because as a business owner, for example, right now building my startup, I can go much further than I could have a year ago. For example, on my second week of my business, I sat down one Saturday morning. I woke up really early and I went on in the computer. I spent 6 hours. I said, you are Tony Robbins, and you're going to help me build my business plan. And 6 hours later, I went to my wife and I said, I just had a best conversation with Tony Robbins. Here's my 40-page business plan. And it went through,
Wow.
So this is something that you can apply on many different levels.
Amazing. So let's go back. You first register on ChatGPT. That's the very first step. And secondly, you learn the two different things, like the output, the input, which is the prompt, and the output, the contextual data. Now, having understood that, what do you then now need, for you to actually land the job? Maybe what will be the next process, maybe?
So one quick small correction is that the input is going to be, you're going to have both contextual data as part of the input. So that's data you feed it. So it's really important. But
thank you.
That's a great question. And it depends where people are. One of the recommendations I've got, if you're an unemployed job seeker, my recommendation is to spend time. There's lots of newsletters. There are lots of resources and videos out there, and research, how is it impacting HR, marketing, sales, call centers. These are all industries and roles that are being impacted. So my recommendation would be to just start doing research, because it kind of surprises me when I go to some of these job seeker events and they're like, they don't mention AI. And for me, I have a philosophy called AI first. That is, first look at ChatGPT. Ask ChatGPT. I mean, think of it as your personal counselor. There are times where I'll say, I don't know where to start, but I want to accomplish this, this, and this. Can you help me? And I've actually, through ChatGPT, say, give me a 60-day program to go from no knowledge of AI to becoming a master. Wow. And there are things there's lots of resources on LinkedIn. I have a lot of, on my website, it's bengoldai.com. I have a lot of resources for job seekers there. And the idea is that this is something where if you search, there is really good information. And the thing is that as a job seeker, you don't want to just get the next job, you want to keep it. So it's not just are you more efficient in your communication, But how do you learn the tools that, let's say, a marketing team uses today? So maybe by understanding that, by saying, well, not only maybe I don't need it as a job seeker, but as a marketer, here are the top 5 AI apps that just came out that allow people to do better SEO, to do better advertising copy, etc. There's lots of things, lots of elements out there. It makes you more attractive and it allows you to stay longer on your job. Now, as a business owner, I would say the same thing, that I would want to train my employees. That's something for me. I have a lot of partners right now, and as I get funding, I'm going to have employees. And one of the most important thing I'm going to ask is, how do you incorporate generative AI in what you do? That is something that's really important. So as a business owner, I would be asking, what am I spending my money on? What can I have my employees do better so that they can be more efficient in what they do?
Wow, incredible. I want to take you to the prompts, because one of the things I hear the most is the better the prompt, the better the quality of output that you're going to get. What have you discovered that works in getting the better, higher quality results?
So prompt is mainly science, and there's a little bit of an art there too, because there is also an element of randomness in the AI output. So it's never, you could give the same prompt and it's never going to give the exact same answer.
Yeah.
What I typically will say to people is that it depends on what you're trying to accomplish. One thing is to do role-based. That is to say you are a top career consultant, you're a top business expert, kind of say this is who you are now from that perspective. The second thing is to be very clear on what you want to accomplish. Right. So, for example, if you say write a cover letter, you're going to get a gobbledygook, 10 paragraph thing. But if you say write a concise cover letter that talks about my top 2 strengths that would benefit and that would be important, and make no fillers, make it very short, because that's typically the way it is, then you're going to get a better output. However, for someone that's really advanced, so if you said, hey, what's your best recommendation? If I don't know where to start, I'll say, ChatGPT, you're now I'll give you an example. You are a marketer. I want to do a 30-day plan to market my business. What are the top questions you want to ask me, or you need to know from my business to give me advice? And then it will ask me the questions. I answer the questions, and then it will say, boom, here's my advice for you.
That is amazing. That is amazing. I can see how that would work out, because it gives you what you're supposed to be asking if you don't know what to ask. And then, of course, when you ask those questions, it gives you the right answers, which you can then implement.
It does. And I try not to go into, like, for a brand new person, I think I just blew their mind and they zone out. So I'm a little careful on that. Like, if you've never gone into Chat GPT, just type in, give me a 5-day trip to Costa Rica, and your mind will be blown. But as you get into it, this is the kind of what I've showed you there. There are people that's all they do. There's actually a job title called prompt engineering. That's a hot new title of people that's all they do is create these prompts for their businesses to get better output.
Amazing. Absolutely amazing. Now, anybody who is afraid of ChatGPT and what's going on there, what would you say to that?
I would say take a deep breath, but dive in. The more you understand it, the less it becomes scary. It can become even maybe at the beginning more scary, because when you realize with one sentence, I can write a blog in 5 minutes. There's things that you can do, and just understand how it's done, because these are the tools that other people are leveraging, and understand that. Take the time. It is, if you're, for example, unemployed, 2 hours a day learning about AI is a fantastic investment of your time, not to code, not to become a new programmer, but just look at what's out there about prompts and best practices.
Absolutely amazing.
And one thing I was going to say is that on my website, if somebody wants to have a one-on-one conversation, I'm more than happy to. If they really want to go to that level, they can schedule an appointment. So I love to work with people to answer these questions, to help them get started, and to see what makes sense for them.
We definitely, yes. So again, while we're at it, would you share with people where they can find the website?
It's bengoldai.com.
bengoldai.com. That's awesome. Well, as we're coming toward the end of our time together, Ben, here, I just want to ask, in your opinion right now, what's ahead? What's in future with AI? What sort of world do you see?
There's a lot of uncertainty because on one hand, we're going to be in a world that's very efficient, that things are going to get done faster. The question is to make sure that this is done in an ethical way where society overall is benefiting, and making sure that these technology advances don't displace too many people at a time. That's probably my biggest concern, is if the technology moving too fast.
Wow, incredible. Absolutely incredible. And do you have any websites, that people can go learn more other than your website, like the softwares out there around this topic?
I'm going to say there's two newsletters that I think are really helpful. One is called the Proton, the Neuron. I'm sorry, the Neuron, and one called Superhuman. These are you can find them on the you can find them pretty much just by looking on Google. And the point is, I subscribe to about 10 or 15 newsletters that are about AI. And some of them are daily, some are weekly. But what it does is, it just, in my inbox, when I wake up in the morning, I like to see what are all the newest happenings, that are, just to stay educated on the trends and the movers and the shakers. And I recommend subscribing to a number of those elements. And I have my own job seeker newsletter that I do on a weekly basis also.
Amazing. Absolutely amazing. The future is so bright. It really is. One of the things I did, that made me really want to get into AI is we took, right at the beginning of the year, when we were looking into AI, we took 10 episodes that we had done for podcasting. Mm-hmm. We had those transcribed, and then we put them through AI. There's a tool that we have, and it transcribed the messages, the whole episode we did, and then it brought out 10 main points of what we were talking about. And then on top of that, it said you could also have covered this. If you want more information about that, there's evidence there. We can do it, does the research, and you can create beautiful output from one episode, which you can repurpose to create a book if you want, to create an extra content that you post on, as a blog or on your social media. It was a game changer for us, and that's when I thought I got to get into this.
What was the app's name? Because I'm actually I'm want to make sure that I'm looking at similar elements. What are you using?
It's called Cast Magic. It's called
Cast Magic.
Correct.
Okay.
So all
awesome.
You do, you record like this conversation that we're having, and you just upload it on there. It has got so many output from there. In fact, it will help us write the notes of this episode. Literally does the introduction beautifully done, and then you can write introductions, you can write an analogy. Really, it's beautiful. And we'll put a link on it as well below this recording for others to use it. I recommend it. It's working for us. And I'm sure it will work for you as well.
I will say that I think that one thing that people need to understand is that AI is not going away. It's not a fad. It's not something here today, gone tomorrow. It's something. It's going to stay with us. So be ready for it to be a part of our lives in the long term. That would be my biggest piece of advice.
Amazing. Absolutely amazing. Finally, how are you growing your business? We've got listeners here who are business owners who are looking to grow their business and want to know how others are doing it.
So I have two-pronged approach. One has been for my product, jobco.ai. That's the career counseling portal. I am right now engaging angel investors. That's really the not venture capitalists, and really having multiple conversations. So I am reaching out in multiple venues to share with people the business plan, the vision, what we're accomplishing, our goal for creating something that doesn't exist for job seekers. So that is a part of my energy. The other is I've been learning how to be and I'm going to use this word in, a thought leader. I mean, everybody wants to be a thought leader, but I've also been spending a lot of time putting out content, reaching out to like-minded people, speaking to people like you, that are engaging and being able to share ideas. So I find that I've gotten out of my comfort zone. I've done businesses before, but I've never done a startup. And it is sometimes frustrating, tiring, and then really rewarding to get out and interact and meet wonderful people along the way.
Incredible. Absolutely incredible. Ben, thank you so much for being on the show and helping our audience here with understanding what AI can do, what it is doing, and how they can take advantage of this incredible medium we have right now.
Thank you so much. This was wonderful talking to you.
Incredible. Well, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for being here. And as you can tell, Ben is doing this and helping other people. If you've got questions, click the link below to find out more information. Ben, as he said, will be prepared to help you on your journey in taking advantage of this technology. I think if you bury your head in the sand at this time, you are going to miss out on great opportunities, not only as an employee or just a business owner, but in life in general. Somebody once said to me, AI is not going to replace jobs, but the people who understand AI are going to replace people who don't. So I want to encourage you to take advantage of that, take some time out and learn what AI can do for you and begin to use, because the technology is available for everyone, which is an exciting part that you and I can now have this technology work on our behalf, creating social media posts, creating podcasts, as a matter of fact, like we do, creating articles, content. There's a lot of things you can do from this technology. So click the link below and reach out for assistance. And I never want to finish without telling you to live well. After everything that you've done, learn to live well. Live well and live with passion, and know that the best is yet to come. No matter what's going on, there's always something good that is waiting to happen for you. As a matter of fact, I know that today you are living one of your dreams. Maybe not all, but something you dreamt of many years ago. So think about it. Let's go make it happen. Until next time, ladies and gentlemen, live well, live with passion, know that the best is yet to come. Goodbye for now. Thank you for tuning in to Yeukai Business Show. We hope you have enjoyed today's episode and have gained valuable insights and inspiration from our amazing guest. Don't forget to subscribe and leave us a review to help us spread the word. Also, be sure to check out our Leadership Ultimate Success Mastermind program, which is designed to help you and leaders in our community to do great things and support each other along their leadership journey. Until next time, live well, live with passion, know that the best is truly yet to come.